and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Give me 5.
Oh.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Shaw, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Because we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today, we're going to talk about top 5 ways to correct knock knees with exercise and set, etc.
Etc.
Not just
so
exercise.
there's more.
There's more, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you're new to our channel, let's just start right into this. If you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. And yes, you want to join us on our social media channels, and please don't make us beg. You can also go to our website, bobandbrad.com, because we're always giving something away. We're not giving away anything today, but starting tomorrow, we're giving away a mattress.
Oh, no, Bob, not the Sleep Ovation mattress.
The Sleep Ovation mattress, yeah. So go to the giveaway section tomorrow, and you have to sign up for that. You can also, it'll be on Facebook, pinned at the top of the page.
Yep.
Want a short version of Bob and Brad? Tired of us rambling on? Go to Instagram or Twitter, and you'll get a 60-second version of our show each day.
We just talk a lot faster.
That's right. Same amount of material. All right. When you have knock knees, it's also called genu valgus.
Right.
And so basically, I mean, I don't know that I need to demonstrate it, but basically your knees are going in like this.
Right. Sometimes they'll bump actually when you walk through, swing through.
And you know, actually, little children actually a lot of times have that naturally, and they grow out of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very common. So they used to tell little kids to ride a trike because that would help get them out of it, but they don't need to. It happens on their own.
Right, right. They got that figured out now.
So generally, when you have knock knees, you have to look. The problem usually isn't at the knee. Mm-hmm. The problem is either at the hip or the ankle and the foot.
Sure. So
that's where you want to look. Now, there can be genetic components that you can't change. Like if your hip, for example, has, instead of a greater angle here, it has a lesser angle between the ball.
Is that the Q angle?
That's not the Q angle. The Q angle is at the knee.
Different angle.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's called coxavera. And if this angle, you know, between the ball and the femur here is, is smaller, that's going to bring this bone in. And there's no way you can get around it. Then you're going to have knock knees. I mean, so unless you have surgery, you're going to have that. So, let's go to the things you can correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's first talk about if your hip tends to internally rotate
or rotate
turn in like
inwards.
this. Yeah. Watch what that does to the knee. So here I'm straight like it should be. I internally rotate this bone. And that immediately puts more of an angle here, the knock knee angle there.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we're going to look at on correcting on you. Are your hips kind of tight, and they're putting you into internal rotation, and that's causing the knock knees.
So we need some stretches to loosen the muscles up here, and then some
the capsule
strengthening exercises to tighten the opposite muscles up.
Perfect.
Sure.
To keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's what we're going to do with the hip. We'll go over that in a minute. Those exercises to help stop the hip from turning in. We're going to try to get the hip to come out a little bit.
Sure.
At the foot, if you're a flat foot, plantar, planus, right? What's the name of the medical term? Oh, I'm putting him on the spot. Sorry.
Pronated.
Pronated, yeah. There we go. I was thinking about a more fancier way to say it. If you have flat feet, basically, watch what that does to the tibia here. So the foot flattens out and the tibia turns in,
right? And
that causes the angle to be created there. So there's, again, hip or foot. So we're going to talk about what to do down there in case you have problems there. But let's talk about the hip first. So we're trying to get the hip into external rotation. A simple way to do this is, even you can do it while you're seated, is you're just going to go ahead and cross your legs like this, and you're going to push down. And this is working on external rotation. It's nice. You can do it throughout the day. You can just do pressure on, pressure off, pressure on.
The old figure 4 stretch, I call it.
And you can do it a number of times throughout the day. You know, you can do it while you're working even.
And it's just a good general stretch to do.
It's a good stretch to do anyway.
Even if you're not knocking.
He's absolutely right. The other one you can do is where if you want to get both of them at the same time, you can do what we call the butterfly stretch. So, can I get in this position? Is this kind of a lotus position too, Brad? Or I don't know, you're into martial arts and stuff. But anyway, so it's like a butterfly. It's flying here, right? So I'm really not doing well with this today, am I?
No, it looks good, Bob. You look like you're having fun.
Yeah. So
anyway, no, that's a good stretch for that. For those hip muscles
for the external rotators. Okay, then we want to go ahead and do a strengthening exercise for the external rotators, and the best one to do for that is the clamshell.
Yeah. So we're working the antagonist muscle.
So it's really easy to do. You're just going to lay on your side, and you're going to put your ankles together, and you're going to work your hip like this. Now, so I'm bringing it up. Knees are coming together, but the feet are staying contacted together. Now, if you want to make it harder, right? Brad's bringing out the band already. You can make it harder with band.
Here,
but to be honest, most of you, this is going to be hard enough for you to start off with. I mean, these are small muscles, a lot of them, and they get fatigued very rapidly.
Sure.
So,
but they do make nice loop straps that actually work really well.
Right.
Liz, you have an exercise program that uses that. You guys do these, don't you? Yeah. Do they say that it's good for knock knees? They probably don't.
They probably don't.
Well, you can bring it up in the next.
You can actually take a weight, Brad, just a hand weight here, and put it right here too. I mean, that would do the job too.
Here, try it.
All right.
Give it a go.
You put it right along your thigh like this, and you're going to go ahead, and that actually is working.
Well, yeah,
I don't think it would, but it does. So, all right. So we gave you some different ways for you to go ahead and stretch the hip into external rotation and strengthen the hip into external rotation. Now we're going down to the feet. You got flat feet. We do have a video on exercises you can do, but to me, it takes a lot of work to try to correct flat feet. And to me, the best thing is probably just to go ahead and wear an arch support. I mean, in my mind.
Or change your shoe style to a shoe that's made for that, which would be called a motion control shoe. In any shoe store that's worth their 2 cents, you should be able to ask them about a motion control shoe, and they'll take you right to them.
And I think you're referring basically to athletic shoes, right, Brad?
Yeah, walking or running.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think they have walking or running, but I don't think they have those in dress shoes, do they?
Well, that's a very good question. That's a good question. Yeah, you may have to put a insert for that.
Yeah. So that's going to correct your flat feet, and that's good. That's going to help the knock knees then. Also, what we really, Brad and I have seen a lot with a lot of patients, because you're flat foot, the inside of your shoe starts to wear out, the bottom.
Right.
And that makes your feet even go more into into pronated position. Right. And eventually what happens is, I mean, you really start wearing, getting knock-kneed. So
a lot of people aren't even aware of that.
They aren't.
And then you take the shoe and you tip it over, and they can see the one side only is wore off, and it's like
right. If you look at the bottom of your shoe, you can tell right away if all the wear is occurring on the inside.
Right.
It's time to change out the shoe too. And as a bonus, you athletes out there, you really want to get in the habit of, like volleyball players and stuff like that, basketball players, of landing with your feet lined up like this and not landing like this.
Right.
Injuries are so much more predominant in people who are landing like this, ACL injuries.
Sure.
And you see this with I see it with a lot of volleyball players. They go like this.
Yeah.
And you got to learn to land like this. Or get yourself in this position.
Right. And you need to train that outside the game, because you're not going to think about it, obviously, while you're playing. So you're going to do some jumping exercises. That's all you do is focus on that. You need to do it a lot so it becomes muscle memory, so to speak.
Like if you're doing squats, and your knees are going in, it's because you're doing too much weight and the quads aren't able to hold you.
Sure.
And so you really want to lessen up the weight and get to the point where you have perfect form. And then when you have perfect form, then you can add to the weight and still not, go into the knock knees.
While maintaining that.
While maintaining
that. Yeah, it's nice to have a partner so they can, observe
keep an eye on
you and give you
sure
cues.
It's always good to lift with a partner anyway, because they keep you motivated, right, Brad?
Right, exactly, Bob.
All right, so get rid of those knock knees with the exercises. And remember, Brad and I can fix just about anything.
Except for
a broken heart, but we're working on it.
Yes, we are, Bob.
Day and night.
Yep, I'm going to get another book on it. I'm thinking.
I bet you got a whole library, don't you, Brad? All right, thanks for watching.